I think that's so true of like, obviously your situation was way more severe and scary.
Holding onto the wheel, pushing your body, like holding up and as you're moving around it.
Joey's incredibly modest as well, taking a calculated leap.
Island of Ipico, Kefalonia, Kastos, Kalamos, Meganese.
Work.
Hi everybody, welcome to another video. If you're new, my name is Joanna Wilson. Today, I'm joined by my beautiful friend, Joey Novel. Joey, do you want to just introduce yourself to the audience?
My name's Joey. I'm Joanna's friend. Since I last had this chat, I am now a boat person, working on boats basically, and I am also a property investor. And this is my first bit of time completely self-employed, working for myself.
Joey has just spent 6.5 months in Greece. So what was your job on the boat? What were you doing?
My title was Flotilla First Mate. Flotilla is a type of holiday where people who love sailing choose to go to sail on a boat, and one of them has to have their day skipper license, which is just a 5-day course you can do, and they come onto this holiday. But we as the lead crew, me, the lead skipper and the engineer, guide around them. We call ourselves like the mother duck and they're all the ducklings. My job's making sure that we had good restaurants or tavernas booked for them. Guests were kind of happy, helping park, leaving in the morning from the marinas and coming back in the evening. That's when the boat's going to be inches away from other boats.
Yeah.
These things are flipping expensive.
Yeah.
Catching ropes off people, pulling them into the right area.
Cool. So you are on a lead boat. There's 10 boats behind you. Presumably in each of the families, somebody has to be able to sail, like you said. How did you know that you wanted to do that?
I think I went to Corfu with my family in Greece. I saw the marinas and I'd watched this program called Below Deck. It kind of showed me an industry that I didn't even know existed. Like, I'm not from a family of sailors. Saw the boats in the marina and saw people working on them. Thought this looks so cool, working in your swimming trunks and a t-shirt. That's when I started writing my plan. It's still on my notes on my phone. Me saying, right, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to do this. I'm ready to.
And qualification-wise, what did you have to get in order to do it?
So I actually looked for jobs first and found a job as Flotilla First Mate, and that sounded good because you were under a skipper, so you're in a team, and the qualifications I needed were day skipper, which is just a 5-day course. I did mine in Largs, Scotland. It was like £250 to do the theory element.
And then did your 5-day?
Yeah, which was about 500, including all your food for the week. That was hard.
And then you went?
And then I went, April 16th. I think I quit my job end of March.
If you were to use 3 words to describe your experience of working on a boat, what would they be?
Ooh, 3 words to describe working on a boat. I'd say it's varied. You have to be considerate. The people you work with, you're working, sleeping, socialising, drinking, eating, everything, limited amount of space. I would say it's stripped back. I didn't even have a laptop. I had a phone.
Did you have your own room in the boat?
Yes.
Was it at the front of the boat?
I was at the front, and the front of the boat is a lot lighter than the back of the boat because the engine's at the back. So if there's any swell in the water or wind, like that's the first thing to.
So you were in the choppiest bit of the boat?
Yeah, for sure.
And how was that? Were you sick at all?
The first couple of weeks we were there, we were on the boats, but they were tied up, and we were just working, putting sails on. So I kind of got used to being on them 2-3 hours at a time. At first I had like a little bit, they call it like land sickness, where you come back on land and it feels
funny,
wavy. Yeah.
Did it feel homely by the end, or?
Yeah, I think it felt cozy and like my only space when I was on my own. I just had a small bag, yay big, and I had my entire life in, and it was enough.
That's so fun.
That was it.
So you're at the front of the boat. Where are the other beds on the boat?
Like, the one we were on as a lead crew is one that isn't suitable for guests anymore. Like, it's battered, and it's like 33 foot. So I guess you'd call it about 10 meters. So that's got your living room, kitchen, 2 bedrooms at the back.
So there were 3 of you on the boat, 2 bedrooms at the back, 1 bedroom at the front.
Sometimes 4 of us on the boat if there was like a trainer on there who was instructing one of the boats that was with us, and they would just sleep in the
living room.
In the living room, yeah.
What if you don't get on with anyone?
Of course that can happen. That just comes into the whole, we're here to work. Like, if you don't get on with someone, you'd still work with them effectively. You've just got to, you've no choice. If you're tired or hungover or poorly, get a flipping grip. Like, that's definitely toughened me up. You just turn up and you crack on no matter what.
And who were the two people that you were sharing the boat with?
It changed quite a lot.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, I had a really funny Greek skipper called Nico. Like on paper we would never ever get on. Like we did a big boat brief at the beginning of the week and Nico was like, 98% of the time we have no fatalities, but 2% sometimes die. It's a statistic we're pretty happy with. Me and him got on really well. We had a real back and forth, very charming.
So you'd pull everybody in,
Park everyone up.
They'd all have a meal. Everybody'd sleep on their boat.
Yeah, we'd do a morning brief with breakfast. We'd tell them where they were going to go, and then like maybe good stops they could stop at on the way.
Okay.
Good snorkeling places, and the sea was crystal everywhere. It was beautiful.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you ever not sail? Was it ever really bad conditions or too choppy or?
So it was more likely you couldn't sail because there wasn't enough wind.
Right, okay. So you would literally just be plonked in the middle of the ocean.
Well, yeah, you've got an engine on there.
Yeah.
So you can, they call it motoring. You can motor along or even motor with your sail up kind of ready for the wind to come. And then we had a couple of storms, obviously, and that was one of them in particular was some pretty bad boy shit.
Tell me about it.
Because it's hard to describe because it was biblical.
Petrifies me.
Yeah.
What was it like?
Well, we had a really good team. Probably my favourite crew. We just worked very, very well together. We had a window of opportunity to get from destination A in the morning to destination B. But the issue is we hadn't been able to book this marina, so we weren't certain we'd have parking spaces basically for all 10 of our boats. So the weather hadn't come in yet. We were still in our window of opportunity. But you could see like clouds coming over the mountains. Like it was like pretty blue and this thick, angry cloud coming over. And we got to our area. I did 52 phone calls in something like 27 minutes. Every port and area we could get to, nowhere was good enough, and our last choice was to go back to base, and then we ended up having to do that. So that was a case of getting everyone on the VHF radio, communicating, right, we've got to head back, but we've got to head back now because we're basically heading towards a storm to get tied up safely. So we're all going back, and the wind just, it was starting to get bad, and then suddenly it just went from probably 15 knots to more like 25, gusting 35, and that's holding onto the wheel, pushing your body, like holding up, and as you're moving around it, really moving your body. Like if you don't hold on to something, you're moving across the boat. Rain sideways. We look behind us and our ducklings, our guests, are coming and they're kind of very much listening to us because like, oh shit, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Some of these people might not have sailed for 25 years, or they might be on a boat now and they've just done the 5-day course and come out.
Yeah.
Probably thinking, oh my god, I'm going to die. Got back and then half the guests couldn't park the boat, so everyone at base, some of the guys there were like jumping in like power boats, going out there, dropping someone off who could park their boat, and the boats were like coming in like this as you're trying to park it in a space. Literally maybe with,
really
honestly,
small.
maybe this much space between the boats. These things are like 40 to 90 grand each one. So that was pretty cool. It was proper action man moment.
Was everybody scared?
For our team, we've got so much kit to get people in safely, and there's so many of us. The guests really found it impressive, and I think it's a reminder to them like we know what we're doing.
They're not on their own.
Yeah, they're not on their own, 100%, and also listen to us because we know when.
Were you scared?
No.
That's so cool. Funny. You know what? I didn't have a similar experience at all. I went kayaking in Portugal.
Oh, in Portugal? In the sea?
In the sea.
Okay.
It was pretty tasty. It wasn't like life or death, but it was pretty choppy, and we were going into caves and things, so you've got to be careful.
You don't want to get bashed against the rocks.
Yeah, so we had a guy leading us called Ricardo. So we were in a kayak, and as we were going through these tiny little caves, waves were coming in, and it's so easy to just try and panic and just try and think about, I need to do this. And it's like, actually, this guy has been kayaking on this sea for 20 years. Yeah. If he tells me to just stick the oar to the right and brace, that's what I need to do. Yeah. I think that's so true of like, obviously your situation was way more severe and scary, but you have to listen to the professional and do what they tell you to do in those moments.
For sure, and I think it's the same experience. It's, you know, said it's different, but if a guest is panicked, their immediate reaction and their natural reaction is they're just doing whatever they have, anything they have in their head, they're pulling it to keep themselves safe. it's safer to override that and listen to
the person who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. But that's really difficult to do. And we could see, we'll be shouting something at them and they literally can't understand left and right or port and starboard. Like they're in panic mode.
So was there only one storm or were there a couple?
There was a few, like unbelievable rain. Mast is steel or aluminium or something, and that's obviously conductive. And it's got something where it's designed to be hit by lightning, and then it has something that takes it all the way through the boat, and then I'm saying the wrong word, like disperses it out the bottom of the boat into the sea, and you can technically stay on the boat and nothing will happen. Like the electrics might be a bit fried.
What advice would you give to somebody who's thinking about either working on a boat or just doing something like you did and just completely going out there and changing their career, trying something new?
Of course, I would say go for it.
Yeah.
And everyone will be able to relate to this. When someone in your family or someone you know, something bad happens, it can come out of nowhere. So, why not go and give something a go? If you're happy in what you're doing, completely fair enough. But if you're thinking, I would like to give this a go one day, I think there's always a reason not to. Always. I've got my rental contract. I've just got this car and lease. Like all this stuff is. I think you kind of hold on to it as a reason rather than I literally can't go to another country and go about or whatever it might be. Try and fight that anxiety and start with something small maybe.
Yeah.
Something, go to a sailing club. Everyone's got a sailing club within 20 miles, 10, 15, 20 miles of them, I bet. And any of those clubs will be very happy to say, oh, you've never been sailing? Why don't we get you out on a little dinghy and see if you like it? I would say go and do something small like that. Something where you don't have to actually quit your job and just test the water with some things at the weekend. Everyone's got a weekend.
Yeah. I think Joey's incredibly modest as well. I think one of the things that you're incredible at is making a plan to do something and then doing it. I think that it can very outwardly sometimes look like Joey's just quit his job and just gone sailing and wow, I could never do that. But actually, like Joey said, he left for sailing on the 16th of April. The plan that he started making was on the 27th of September. So he planned that for more than 6 months. And there isn't anything that Joey does or decides he's going to do without having a plan for it. You decided that you were going to quit your job 3 years before you quit your job, and you stayed in that job until you knew you were financially in a position to be able to do that. So I think taking a leap is a massive thing, but also taking a calculated leap is the most important thing. Like make a plan, but I think taking calculated risks can be a game changer.
For sure. And you'll it didn't have to be something as big, like you said, as quitting your job. You could.
Right, well there we have it, guys. That's what it's like to work, live, sleep, eat, other things.
Yeah.
On a boat for 6.5 months.
Yeah.
What does your boating future look like, Mr. Joey Joe?
Actually getting further qualified, because I did it with the plan that I might not like it. Turns out I love being in the sun 6 months of the year. So my boating future, I am going to the Isle of Wight. I'm going to do my Yacht Masters, which is a 4-month course called the Yacht Master Offshore. And I think that lets me skipper a boat up to 78 feet, which is fairly big. And there's just loads of modules around like engines and learning how to use power boats, personal survival, fire safety, obviously just higher techniques of sailing.
Does that mean you could be the top man in Flotilla?
Oh yeah, for sure. So the next step would be like maybe Flotilla skipper, and then maybe in the future I can use these qualifications to do like freelance skippering, so maybe on like smarter catamarans or some quite swanky newer boats. If I fancy going away to Greece or wherever for 2 months or the Caribbean, I can go work on a really fancy boat that I'd never be able to afford, or these things cost hundreds of £1,000s, and be in the sun.
Yeah.
And I can kind of take it and leave it. So that's my plan.
Amazing. I'm very proud of you. Although I do miss you when you're gone. But yeah, thank you. I think people have found that really interesting.
I hope so.
Comment below what you would like to do and whether you would like to be a boat person. We'll see you in the next video. Keep smashing it. Remember, anything is possible if you just work.
How'd you do it?
Just.
Is that a J though?
Yeah.
A J goes the other way.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, yeah. I had to do it quickly.
Bye.
Bye.